You guys came here for commentary, right? Doesn't get much better than this. Too late. I'll do the replay analysis. Analysis makes it sound professional. This is probably not going to be professional. So this game is Mannermule. He streams twitch.tv/Mannermule, and he's very good. I've been watching his stream for a while. He's like low diamond. He's a great player. He's working his way up. How do you like that jab? I give you a low diamond. How about that? Okay. I've seen worse depot placement. One time I was live coaching a student who was like platinum or diamond, and he had a barracks, he had like a depot, a barracks, and a refinery. And he was going to do a Reaper expand against Protoss. Or whatever. I don't remember. But he put his second supply depot, he chose to put it next to his barracks in such a way that it blocked the add-on. And I was like, that is literally the worst possible location you could put that supply depot. It was pretty funny. What's that? Was he a Zerg? Okay. Not great. Scout time, too early. You don't need to scout this early. Also, against Zerg, you really should be expanding on 16 supply and putting the command center at the macro. At the natural. Just notes. We'll do notes. WordPad. Mannermule notes. Save the file. Okay. Okay. So, these are my notes so far. This is how you want to open. 16 CC, 17 depot, 18 SCV, double refinery without cutting SCV production. And then after the refineries, you build the SCV. I know all this because I know how the money comes in because I've done this 1,000 times. And then you start your second Marine. So you're on one Marine for a long time. That's step one. That's how you expand. And then after 3 Marines, you build a reactor. Oh yeah, and scout after barracks finishes. You can just scout with the SCV that builds the barracks. Okay, so what you're scouting for is if Zerg took a gas. That's all the SCV needs to see. Well, I guess you see if they expanded. It's important. And then you go see if they took a gas. If they take a gas, that means they're getting a fast lair or Zergling speed. That's what the gas is used for. If they don't take a gas, that's more normal, I suppose. I guess they're both about equally normal. But if they don't take a gas, it means they're just droning. They're just putting all their minerals into drones. And that's probably what I would do. I don't think I would take an early gas. That's the normal thing to do, I guess. Just, it's the logical thing. So he took a gas. So what that means is you want to look and see if the pool is shimmering. So you want to keep the scout in there. And you can actually just let it die to get information. And you want to make sure that pool starts shaking. So you can click on the extractor to see the gas count. And when it gets to about 2400, that's when he's going to start his metabolic boost. And if he doesn't, it means maybe it's lair. I don't think anyone would start their lair right in front of an SCV, but okay. Pausing. Controlling this watchtower doesn't do anything. It's just, there's no attack that's ever comes right now, and when Zerg sends out a couple lings, they're always going to stop at the watchtower. Use this SCV to get a little more information. If you've got all the information you need, like you see there's no gas, or you see the Zergling speed, you can then run back home. You can run and poke in at their third base. You don't need to sit around and die. Alright, back at home. Looks good. This is too early of a third command center for my personal taste. Teja would build his even earlier, before his gases. But basically, it's perfectly fine if you're a super pro gamer and you can spend every drop of your money perfectly. This command center, this third command center is perfectly fine. But if you're like me and you're not, it's not worth it. It's better to just get those units out faster so you can start doing stuff like scouting with them and denying creep and harassing drones and being safe. Like, part of investing in military is that you're safer that way. Like, I don't like this command center. I'd rather have the faster first one and faster gases and then a faster factory. That's how my expansion works. I like the bunker. That's a really good timing on the bunker. But I really don't like the placement of the bunker. There's basically two ways you can position a bunker. One, you can put it out in front, like maybe here. And that's if you want to hedge a little bit against roach builds. And the other way is you can put it here. And this is where you should put it. You want it to have as little surface area as possible for Zerglings. You saw 100 gas, and you saw metabolic boost, what you should have. So the most likely attack is like 20 Zerglings at like 6 minutes, 20 seconds. So you want to have as little surface area as possible so the Zerglings line up and dance behind each other and they don't kill the bunker. Just to respond to your comment, Force Water. Basically, you can easily keep your money down. That's not really the issue as much as the, like, when you compare, say, an income graph of my build versus this build, which I'll just say is the Teja build. If you compare an income graph, he gets a little bit more income because his third command center is like 30 seconds faster, so he gets one more mule maybe, one more SCV. But that's not that much economy. That's only a couple hundred minerals. So personally, I like getting the faster factory, faster Banshee, and I guilt the third command center like as I build my starport, so it's still pretty quick. I'm saying this is okay, but bunker placement is very poor. Don't control the watchtowers. You just don't have any right to control these towers. Zerg has map control at this point. Even if they don't take gases, these units are just, they're going to die and they're not going to tell you much. You're going to see a few Zerglings, but that's it. Moving forward. This is very inefficient. You want to build your add-ons on your barracks and then lift them and land them and have the barracks do all that work. It's faster. I'll take a moment to say this is also like a random ladder game played like in the middle of the night. So I'm just going over it not as a criticism, but just some ideas, get some ideas percolating in case some of these things are habits of yours. So he goes Banelings. Now if he had just not built Banelings and just Zerglings surrounded, you would have been dead here. I think. Because of your bunker positioning. Because you can't repair it. If it's here, usually you can get some SCVs on it in time. But yeah. Not great. Alright, so you're doing a very bad type of a build. You're going Hellions, but you don't have a reactor. And you're getting a really early stim. I don't like it. Although the Hellions will be very effective against a lot of Zergling stuff. This bunker is awesome. I like this bunker a lot. Lifting this is good. I see you do this a lot, Mannermule. You take these bases that you just shouldn't defend. Like, when I do that, I feel really, like, hiding a base is one thing, but taking a third when you don't have map control or presence to defend it is not something you want to get in the habit of. Like, ladder is brutal and players do anything they can to win. So, like, as you get better and better, people will punish you for mistakes. You have to play like very tight and very like clean. If you try to like do stuff like this, it just won't work. The better you get. Okay, not much to say about this stuff. There was a little bit of sloppy micro. There was some good micro. Micro is not really something that you can teach too much. Like, there's some techniques, I suppose, but it just takes practice. Alright. So, these games are always kind of tough. You have to make some, like, educated guesses, like, on if Zerg is going to continue attacking, if they're going to do a tech switch into roaches or a rush into mutalisks. I would say a very likely thing is Zerglings coming to attack this base. And the most likely thing is probably just a third base and drones behind the attack. But you want to kind of have an idea of what Zerg is doing. So probably send out your Hellions to go scout and abandon this base. I think if I were to take over this game, that's what I would do. I'd re-land this up here, at least until I had like a better feel of what Zerg was doing. I like the starport. Stim is restarting. Second tech lab is good. So I really, really, really like this Hellion activity. Like, this is what... your build order hasn't been great, but this, like... this activity is what separates you from worse diamond players. For the most part. Really good Hellion harass. That was perfect. You got out with all your stuff alive. Killed a bunch of drones. And now I would send these Hellions, like, to this area of the map. Maybe to the watchtower. Kill some creep. But okay. You've walled in here. Very interesting. I never do this. I always put my wall, like, here. And here. I think I like mine a little bit better. I put a bunker here. Just because, like, this alley is a bitch, but... sure. When you do these economy builds, where you get 3 early orbitals, start your 4th pretty quickly. I've found is the way to go. You want to start your 4th, like... you just have a ton of mineral income, so there's no reason not to. Now, nothing is going to look perfectly normal because shit kind of hit the fan with that attack, but the way you want to saturate your bases is by rallying to your least saturated base. I have all my command centers on a hotkey like you do, and I just rally to my least saturated base. Keeps things pretty easy. And then occasionally I transfer to even things out. Okay, a lot of some surprise roaches. With Hellions on the map, you really shouldn't be surprised by anything. These roaches are going to do work. They're going to do a lot of work. No stim. Okay, well, you cleaned that up okay. Just fine, actually. I thought that would be a lot worse. So now is kind of when you need to start thinking about mutalisks. It's definitely a thing. And you need to start thinking about attacking when you're going to do that. I don't see upgrades, and that's huge. Upgrades are... they're not in any way optional. You have to have 2-2 by about... uninterrupted, you want 2-2 to finish by 16 minutes. You just have to keep up with Zerg. Anytime you move out, this would seem a lot better if I said it before this happened. When you move out, you kind of want to expect the counterattack. Having a unit over here is necessary. I actually also, I've started leaving a tank at my 3rd base. A tank in a bunker seems to defend things pretty well, and it's worth it. Zergs will still attack into it. And if they don't, that's a good use of supply. So this push is the type of push Zerg is really good at shutting down. You need to be attacking 2 different places. Like with my Gozu high level professional copied builds, I use a Viking to clear overlords. So I send a drop, and I'm dropping the natural as I push the 4th. Okay, start sieging up about here and scan ahead. You really need to scan ahead against banelings. Just one armory. Definitely just one armory. No 4th anywhere. Oh, he was rushing. He's going 3 base, Greater Spire. Kind of cool. The end.